Let's make Sang Ma Wan, which is, the Sang is from Sangye, mulberry leaves, and the Ma is from Ma, which is black sesame seed. It only has 3 ingredients. It's a good formula to start with because it's simple. It only has 3 ingredients. Even if you don't have a grinder, it's not too hard to get the ingredients in their proper form. And it tastes pretty good. So if you want to try making honey pills, is a good place to start. The first ingredient is sangye, which is mulberry leaf, as I said. So even if you don't have it, the powdered herb, excuse me, even if you don't have the powdered herb, the leaf you can buy, at any herb store or online. And you can even, if you have the tree, pick them yourself. It's easy to grind. You could grind it in, your spice grinder or coffee grinder. It's not going to destroy just a little hand kitchen coffee grinder, like some herbs might. You can also buy it already powdered. Of course, I mean the powdered herb and not granules and extracts. So, it's pretty easy to powder, so no problem with that one. The second ingredient, I already have some powdered. The second ingredient is Ma, which is black sesame seed. In Asian stores, you can buy it already ground up. You could also grind it in your spice mill as well. You can get it in different forms. Here's like a can of it. It looks like a coffee can. It does say 100% pure black sesame powder, because sometimes they make drinks you mix them with hot water and they have other things in them. So you do want to make sure that that's what you're getting. But you can get it already ground up. You don't need to grind it yourself. And so that's not hard to find. The third ingredient is honey. I buy my honey at the farmer's market. And those are the 3 ingredients of Sāng Má Wán. Let's measure things out. The ratio is 2 parts of powdered mulberry leaves to 1 part of powdered black sesame. Since I already had a bunch of powder, I'm going to weigh it. There we go. I'm going to weigh what I have, and I'm just going to, mix the whole amount because I never use it for anything else. So it's a little dusty. You want to kind of pour it slowly if you can. Well, not perfect, but that'll do. Okay, so that says, what does it say? 115.3 grams. I'm going to put it back in. Let's move this because there's plenty of room in the jar to mix it in the jar. Let's see, sorry, I guess you can't really see this, but I'm just pouring the powder back in, and there are clouds of dust rising from it there. Okay, so since that was 115, let's say if it was 114, that would be 57. So I want 57 grams now. I have to wait for it to zero out, or you have to hit the tare button. I'm going to use up hopefully the rest of whatever's in this bag. Let's get that out. We don't want that. Okay. And that gives us 30, and I wanted 57. So I do have a spoon here. Getting there. A little bit more. You don't have to be too precise. Close enough. Okay. So now I'm going to add that in the into the jar. Okay, and okay, it's all there. And then however you want to do it, you could shake it, you could stir it. I'm just gonna, mix it evenly. And then we'll move on to the next stage of making honey pills. Okay, you can picture the rest. Okay, I've processed my honey a little bit. I'll have another video about that. Many of you won't want to do that. You can use raw honey, but the heat helps absorb into the powder. It's a thinner liquid, so it absorbs into the powder better, and it also makes it a little bit of a warmer formula. Okay, so the thing you want to do is always have some leftover powder, because what happens is that if you add too much honey, then you need to add more powder to it to get the right texture. So I just poured a random amount of the powder into the bowl, and now I'm going to put some of this in, but not too much, because if it's too wet, if it's too sticky, then you can't really make pills very well. So I'm just, now try to mix it, and I'm sure I'm going to need more, but it's always better to start with too little than too much. One of the problems is that the powder kind of coats beads of honey, and so you may think all the honey is mixed in, but there's really like beads of honey, and then when you start really working the dough, the honey comes out of the beads and it's way too wet. So I do think this will need a little bit more. So smells good. What could be better than black sesame and honey? Okay. This may still indeed need more, but it's time for me to change tactics. One of the secrets of making honey pills that I had to figure out from accounts in the old books, although it didn't always say this, but once I tried it, I knew it was the answer, is you need to pestle the dough a bunch of times. So before I move it into the mortar, I'm going to pestle it here a little bit and see how it goes. I probably will need more honey, but again, it's better to start slow and have it not too moist. So it really is starting to make a dough. I know this part's a little boring, but we've got to, I'm sure if I had made pills like 100 times, I could get it right from the start. But, I've probably made pills 30 times, something like that. So I still, working out the details. I'm going to see if I can compact this together into a ball, or if it still needs more. And actually it's more sticky, much more sticky than it looks. So I think we're very close to it. As I said, there's probably more honey in here that's not really mixed in. So I can work it with my hands for a while, And the texture is really changing already. You can see it is a dough that's holding together. It still might be slightly dry. So I'm going to switch over to the mortar and pestle. And then it's supposed to be pestled 100 times at a minimum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, usually I can do it a little better. 7, 8, 9, 10. So I am not going to keep you for watching 100 of these. I'm going to do more and then I'll come back to you. So sticky. Okay, I've pestled it 100 times now, and you can see I could just get the dough right out and it's not all stuck on the inside of the mortar. I can work it with my hands and my hands don't get overly sticky or greasy. It really is like a dough. This is a little, I call it my fairy dust sprinkler. It has some of the same powder in it, just like if you were working with pie crust or something, you'd put some flour on the board before you knead it. By the way, you could knead this, you don't have to pestle it, but 100 times is the magic number. And so yeah, this is like a nice dough. So I can now start to roll it out. Sorry if it looks like the dog was, this doesn't want to roll out right here because the thing wants to move. Maybe I need to do it on like a breadboard. Anyway, I'm just rolling it out to the thickness of, like if I want a pill to be that big, that's how I roll it out. Doesn't want to roll on here. Okay, there, got it going. Okay, so, it doesn't have to be beautiful. A little bit of powder on the outside is okay. Now I can cut it into pieces. If you're really fussy, you can weigh each piece. I'm not very fussy, especially this is for me. This is a very mild formula. It nourishes yin, it blackens the hair, not that my hair was ever black, and moistens and benefits the eyes and that kind of stuff. And it tastes good. You could actually make a formula, with sesame oil and honey and gochidza and walnuts and, all those kind of nourishing life herbs. So now I'm just rolling pills. There's a device that you can get from China to roll them all very quickly, but I only have one for small pills, not for this size. Honey pills are chewed, they're not swallowed. They kind of can have a bit of a texture like peanut butter, so, get a little stuck in your teeth and so forth. But generally, they don't taste horrible because they've got honey. They're usually nourishing and moistening. So if you have a lot of dampness, honey pills are not really the right thing for you. But if you have dryness and deficiency, honey pills are fabulous. So anyway, that's how you make Sāng Má Wán. And I look forward to eating 1 or 2 a day. This is medicine. It tastes good, but since it's medicine, you shouldn't just be eating it like candy. Okay, done. So there we are. They're not going to stick together unless it's really hot. I'll store them in an airtight container. Yeah. I forgot. I had bought some of these these are like rice wrappers. I don't really understand. They're supposed to be edible. and you can wrap candy in it. So this is me trying for the first time. So I guess we just make a little twist here and a little twist there. And that's something, doesn't want to twist shut. Maybe I need to do a few of these. That one's okay. Okay, let's wrap a few and see what we think. That one is broken. This stuff is really delicate. It's kind of interesting, you know. And if your pills are too sticky, then wrapping it like this, or if you need to take them with you, wrapping it like this might be, you know, a good thing. Some of these are broken. Okay, so now I know what that's all about. Just another option. I've had Chinese candy that's wrapped in this kind of stuff where you eat the whole thing and don't try to pick this off. It's not plastic, it's not cellophane. Okay, there. Well, there we have it. My little jar of them. Okay, and that's it.